Our presentation is over rehabilitation and stress management. The population that we chose to work with is collegiate athletes, soccer team, and it's approximately 40 athletes. And the injury that we'll be covering is the lower extremities. The barriers after injury we'll cover will be distorted thinking, catastrophic thinking, Kubler and Ross's coping model, which is denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and acceptance, which, if you've noticed, is very similar to the 5 stages of grief. Now, if you will pull out a piece of paper and write down 3 words that describe your day. And if you notice, if you were to do this for a week, every day, you would notice that the words will either benefit or be harmful to how you feel about yourself. Now with everything that we have discussed, I will be now passing it over to Victoria, who will describe the rehab phase of the process.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. So as we're going through this, we're going to be going over the lower extremities, something nice and easy, an ankle, a knee, a hip, something that people may have experienced in the past. So looking up at the screen, we do have a couple of ideas for you all to use as you go through a rehabilitation program. We have your vicarious experience or imaging, so what you've done in the past and how that can help you improve for the future. We also have your teammate lifeline. This is very important to go about discussing with teammates that have experienced the same injuries what you can do to further your process and hopefully get you back on the field in a quicker manner. All right. We also have goal setting. How many of you have set goals? All right. Not only short-term but long-term goals are very important to make sure that they are realistic and attainable. Those are vital for your return to play. And then you want to have a discussion with the coach. What can I do in order to help during practice? Is there any ball shagging I can do? Can I at least be incorporated and involved with the team? All right. So on that same sheet of paper that you all are working on, we have a target activity for you. In the green spot, I want you to write down the most important things to you, whether that be your family, your faith, your job, anything that you do that you could never live without. Put that in this green spot. In this yellow area, the middle, I want you to write down your friends, people that you know, all right, that may be beneficial to you. Beneficial and sometimes also harmful at others. How many of you would like to go out on Friday night and eat pizza instead of studying? I know I would. Those are the yellow people. All right, and in the red, please write down anything that you know is a distraction. Social media, all right, going out too much. Make sure that you do focus on those big important things in the green. I'll give you just a couple moments. During your rehabilitation, please remember there will be some pain involved. It's not a very pleasant experience to be going through rehabilitation for an injury. So there will be pain. It will be very unpleasant, and that things that were simple before are now more difficult. All right, so think about this. You can move your foot on the floor as I speak. How easy is that for you now? Think about an injury. It will be more difficult later down the road. All right? Remember, you are still part of the team even though you were injured. All right, so we are going to do an active progression relaxation technique. This is going to be a really quick technique. All right, I even have some mood music for you all. Enjoy. All right, so just take in a couple of real deep breaths for me. All right, so we're going to start up at the neck, the shoulders. tense those up. Alright? And relax them. Alright, we'll do it one more time for you all. Make sure you're still breathing. Go ahead. Tense. And relax. Alright, that feels better, right? So think about that. You can go through that with your entire body, and that will really, really help you. Alright? So we're going to talk about coping efficiency. Kevin is going to come up and tell you all about that.
Okay, thanks, Victoria. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you all about, this has to do more with the post-rehabilitation process. And Mary Rogers and her colleagues did an excellent article on this that I'm going to be referencing tonight. And what they did was they broke down efficacy into 3 different types of efficacy. They had task efficacy, scheduling efficacy, and coping efficacy. So we've gone over some of these terms in class. Task efficacy is basically your general definition of self-efficacy. It's being able to perform, having confidence in yourself to perform a task successfully. Coping efficacy is pretty much just that, but it's in the face of a barrier. So, you know, all of us have had those days where you go to the gym and you don't want to be there, you're too tired, and some days that overcomes you actually going to the gym. In this instance, it'll overcome you performing your exercises in post-rehabilitation. Then the last one is scheduling efficacy, and this is just your time management ability, you being successful at time management and plotting your day successfully in order to be able to perform your workouts. So what they did in this article is, the article showed that people that were strong in coping self-efficacy and scheduling efficacy had a strong correlation in continuing their rehab and being successful in their post-rehab. So what I want you all to do right now is pull out your the scheduling sheets that we had from Dr. Martin, or you can go back in your mind and just think of what you've done today and kind of get a mental plan of your day so far. And this is important to do also during rehab, so you're used to it when post-rehab occurs. So I want you to find parts in your day where you maybe have time to perform an exercise. It can even be 10 minutes. You can even break your exercises down and perform them throughout the day. You don't need like a gym or any expensive equipment to do most of the exercises that you get. And for coping efficacy, something that I've had to do in a past class, and I've found that it helps a lot, is if you keep a journal, even the days that you come to rehab and you're with your therapist, you keep a journal, and similar to that 3-word exercise we did earlier, maybe write down how you're feeling that day and how you're feeling, whether it's positive or negative. And that way, during the rehab process, we can pinpoint maybe some things that make your day go a little better, or some things that kind of turn your day for the worse. And if we can figure out those during rehab, you'll know how to cope with them in the post-rehab process, and the barriers may not be as strong to get over. So, next slide. And then, okay, I had them do the calendar activity. This was just the thinking of your day and planning your day and actually writing. This is I find this similar to goal setting. If you actually write down in your planner that you're going to do your exercises that day, I feel you'll be more inclined to do them, as opposed to just in your mind kind of saying, oh, I'm going to do my exercises today, I'll do those later. I think that people that do that tend to put it off a little bit and won't get it done. Okay, so this is just the conclusion, some of the major points that we hit on. So the first one is to remember that always have a lifeline when you're going through something as major as a big injury, whether that be a family member, a coach, or a teammate. Always have that person that you can turn to, that when you're down or rehab isn't going very well, you can turn to them and they can kind of help lift your spirits. And then using motivational techniques, those 3-word process, the journal, just keep yourself motivated and find a way to keep yourself motivated to where you can get through it, that kind of helps you get through the process a little bit more easier.